Hello everyone. So one of the best concepts in chess is the idea of overprotection. So what is overprotection? Overprotection refers to the strategy of defending a strong or critical square multiple times, even when it's not immediately under threat. But why is that? Why do you want to defend that critical square? So here in this video, I'll explain why and I'll give you examples so you can apply this concept in your games. By the way, the concept of overprotection was popularized by Aron Nimzowitsch in his book, My System. So let's get started. Alright, so here in this video, we will examine a game from the one who popularizes this concept, Aron Nimzowitsch. So here is playing white, and in this game, we will gonna see a series of overprotection ideas. First, we'll evaluate this game. So in this game, as you can see, black has an attack on the d4 pawn multiple times, and white has no problem because this pawn is defended enough by the queen and the knight, right? So in this position, Nimzowitsch played an idea that highlights the idea of overprotection. Actually, he defended this attack piece with the move knight a3. The idea of knight a3 is to go knight c2, defending this pawn multiple times. So why do you want to defend a piece or a square multiple times? There are two main reasons. First is reinforcement, ensuring that a piece or square is defended well enough even if the opponent increases the pressure of that pawn, of that square, or of that piece. For example, if black eventually has an opportunity to play knight f5, but right now, of course, this is defended. Of course, it's not possible, but let's assume that he can play knight f5 later in the game. Then you already have three pieces defending this pawn. Alright? So that's one of the reasons, reinforcement. Second is flexibility, allowing your other pieces to eventually create another potential strategic or tactical ideas where you can see in this game. So the game continues by Rubinstein played knight b4, and here Nimzowitsch played knight c2, and then his opponent played rook takes c3, bishop takes c3, and then knight takes c2, queen takes c2. So far, this pawn, as you can see, is protected well enough by two pieces, and here his opponent played rook c2, and now he played queen b2, overprotecting this d4 pawn. Because, for example, if black plays knight c6, then his position will be flexible. His other pieces will be flexible. In this, for example, queen can move here, can move possibly here if he wants, but mainly this bishop can now go anywhere that he wants to go. For example, bishop d2, trying to exchange this bishop, because if black exchange, queen takes, this pawn is still protected. Maybe you can perhaps go queen s6, trying to attack the king side. So here, as you can see, this is very good idea overprotecting a square or a piece so that your other pieces will be flexible. Okay? So again, there are two reasons why you want to overprotect. Mainly, two reasons. Reinforcement, adding more defenders so that if your opponent add more pressure, then you are ready. Your position is ready to defend. And second is for flexibility. Flexibility in the idea that so if you overprotect a piece or a square, then your other pieces can be very flexible and can create another attack or threats or whatever strategic or tactical ideas you have in mind. Alright? So that's one example that's very extractive from the one who popularizes this concept. So here's another example of the idea of overprotection. So first, let's assess the position. So white here has the attack of the e5 pawn, which is it attacks by three pieces, the knight, the bishop, and the queen. At the same time, black has enough defender actually with knight, bishop, and the rook. So it seems that it's very protected. But here you can apply the idea of overprotection, especially the square or the pawn e5. How will you do that? So here there are two main options to overprotect with the move queen e7 or queen b8. So you can, for example, queen b queen e7, which is now, as I have mentioned, the idea of overprotection is for reinforcement, so that it will become more protected. Even if I try to increase the pressure of that pawn, of that square, then you have enough defender of that pawn. And now, for flexibility, this bishop can now move. Example, if black wants to play bishop b4, bishop a3, or this knight can maybe move here. I don't know. I mean, the idea is because you overprotect this e5 pawn, now your other pieces becomes very flexible, and you can think about other plan, right? And then after that, maybe a good plan for black here is to play a5, a4, and maybe later you can exchange the bishop. It depends, but as you can see, the concept of overprotection will help you in your game to have a better position and win you more games. Alright, so that's it. That's the idea of overprotection. So I hope you have learned something from this video. And for more videos like this, you can subscribe in the Metal Eagle Chess YouTube channel. Thank you guys, and see you in another video. Bye.
Hey, check this video out to make sure that you get more important information to bring your chess to the next level.